Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
So the Washington Post story about the Mobile Fidelity debacle was published today, and I thought I was finished with the MoFi story, but I really think I need to say one more thing. So let's go over this story just one last time. In May, Mobile Fidelity announced it was releasing Thriller as a one-step. It immediately became obvious that they couldn't be working from the master tape. It must have been a copy. I contacted MoFi and was told, yes, it will be a copy, but please don't say anything because after the Munich show, we'll make an announcement about that. They never did. Then someone called me, someone called Mike Esposito, and someone called Michael Lidwigs, the three Michaels, and told us off the record that someone from inside of MoFi, a deep throat, was soon going to step forward and say that Mobile Fidelity has been cutting from digital files for years now. And that person never did step forward, and that never happened too. So that's two things that never happened. Then the rumor was taken public by Mike Esposito and Michael Lidwigs, and they're entitled to do that. One of them owns a record store, and the other one is a fan of records and has a YouTube channel and posts his opinions about records, and that's fine. And I consider myself to be a journalist, and I know some of you don't agree with that, but that's fine. And I didn't feel it was right to start spreading rumors. So the next thing I did was contact Jim Davis of Mobile Fidelity, and I said, Jim, these rumors are flying around about you using digital sources. You should get on top of this. And I was hoping he would respond to me and give me the story or tell me what the truth was about this, whether it was true or not. But he didn't. Instead, he said, we're going to make a video in Sebastopol, and it'll be published within 2 weeks, and you'll get all the truth. And that never happened. So those are three things that never happened. Nobody from MoFi made an announcement about Thriller. The person that was the deep throat that was going to step forward about digital files from inside of MoFi never stepped forward. And Jim Davis never produced this promised, at least up to this point, has never produced this promised video. In the meantime, once I learned this rumor, rather than spread it, I tried contacting people I knew to get some information. And I heard from one person who said there was a master tape of Dire Straits in Sebastopol, a master tape, and they were using that to cut lacquers. Now, did I have any idea that that meant they were going to digitize it and then use that to make a record? No. As for all I knew was there was a master tape, and they were going to use that, and they cut lacquers from it, which they did. I published that because that was a fact. And all I meant to say by that was, we don't know about these rumors, but here's one fact you can count upon because I got it from a straight source who knew. All right? The story published today, the writer decided to make the story as much about Mike Esposito in Groove as about the MoFi story, which is fine. It's his story. It's his decision to make. But in that story, the first turnaround point, and if you know anything about script writing, it's very similar to writing a story. There's a little bit of an intro, then there's a first plot point turn, then there's the exposition, and there's a second plot point turn. The first plot point turn in the story was that Michael Fremer said that Mike Esposito was wrong, saying that MoFi was cutting from digital. That's not true. I never said that. It's not true. And I contacted the writer, and I said, you should change that because it's not true. I never said that. And he came back to me and said, but you said this. I said, you're misrepresenting what I said. What I did say is that it was wrong to be broadcasting rumors, unsubstantiated rumors. And you should fix that. But he didn't fix it. Instead, he said, this is not a story about journalism. It's about something else. Well, I'm sorry, but it is about journalism on one level. And the level upon which it's about journalism is it misrepresents what I said. Now, if the idea of this story was to stir it up again between me and Mike Esposito, that's not really right. Because when I made my second MoFi video, here is what I said. So look, after all this nonsense that went on, MoFi invites Mike Esposito from InGroove to go up to Sebastopol and get the story. And he finally manages to get the story and dig it out, get it out of these guys. And, he's right. It wasn't really their job to defend what they're doing, because they're doing what they're doing. It's what they believe is good, which is fine. But who really needs to defend what they're doing are the marketing people and the people who are writing the things that are being published about from master tapes and all analog and whatever else they're saying. But we're all happy that Mike got the facts out of Mobile Fidelity, but a lot more needs to be done. I said, thank you, Mike Esposito, for doing this. My intent was not to stir up trouble. This story is intended to stir up trouble, and I don't like that. And then, furthermore, it goes on about what happened. It does a very good job of saying about what happened. But then at the end, you'll notice the story ends with some, I don't know who this person is, saying, you see, they really can't hear digital. And that's not true also. It's completely not true. But that's the writer's intention. His intention is to make all of us look like fools who don't like to listen to records cut from digital when there's a tape. And 90% of the time, I can hear it, and I've said it. And in all the negative reviews I've given to Mobile Fidelity Records, which are many, I've given many negative reviews to Mobile Fidelity Records. And maybe that's why there's a executive at Mobile Fidelity, who we don't know who it is, who said, I'm not a fan of Michael Fremer because I didn't like a lot of their reissues. And I never suspected they were cut from digital. I heard something I didn't like. I thought it was maybe only EQ related. But I never suspected it was because it was cut from a digital source, and so I didn't speculate that. But you know what? I've got emails from readers who have said, I'm hearing digital. And I say, no, it can't be that, because Mobile Fidelity, I know they use copies of master tapes, but not digital, because I took their word for it. I trusted them, and that I shouldn't have done. So the outcome of this is that people at MoFi are not fans of mine, even though I refuse to spread their rumor. Fans of Mike Esposito think I was covering for MoFi by not spreading the rumor because I'm on the promo record gravy train. And a writer at the Washington Post decided to misrepresent what I actually said by saying I said Mike Esposito was wrong. I never said Mike Esposito was wrong. So that's where it's at. That's the last thing. Oh, one other thing. You'll see a hyperlink to Mike Esposito's site. You will see a hyperlink to Michael Ludwig's site. You will not see a hyperlink to Tracking Angle YouTube channel. Both of those are YouTube channels, by the way, not sites, YouTube channels. You will not see a link to the Tracking Angle YouTube channel, where there are 2 videos about Mobile Fidelity that contain more facts about Mobile Fidelity than the other 2 YouTube channels combined, or any other 10 YouTube channels combined, about talking about Mobile Fidelity. And in that video, I said what I just posted to you. I thank Mike Esposito for going there and doing that. Although I still believe, as the story did say, that a journalist should have gone up there to really tell the story correctly. So that's all I'm going to say about this story. I think it was a clickbait story. I think it misrepresents the facts about me, which I do not like. And they refuse to correct that fact. And I challenge anyone, especially at the Washington Post, to show me where I said that Mike Esposito was wrong. And what was thrown back in my face was, well, you said you found someone who has a master tape at Mobile Fidelity in 2018. Aren't you saying that Mike Esposito is wrong? Does that say Mike Esposito was wrong? No. All it did was say, here's a fact that I discovered that's an actual verifiable fact, that there was an analog master tape at Mobile Fidelity in 2018. Is that saying Mike Esposito was wrong? No, it's simply saying we have a rumor, unsubstantiated, and we have one fact related to this that kind of counters that. That's all I said. Anyway, I'm done talking about this, and have a great day.